principal at Sherman High?
Yes.
You believe that drugs are causing a problem in the school?
I believe that we recently had a drug violation in our school. Yes.
On February 13th of 2011, you had a conversation with Chris Hall.
Yes.
He seemed to be dragging a bit.
As I said, yes, he seemed to be dragging a bit, and then at the end of the conversation, he was a little bit rude to me, saying that is none of my business.
He perked up when you mentioned when he heard about a valedictorian.
Yes, a little bit.
He was slightly ahead according to preliminary evaluations.
Yes, Chris Hall was slightly ahead in the running for valedictorian.
You encouraged him to take state.
Yes.
You heard that he was hanging out with the wrong kids.
I mentioned it to him that I heard that he was hanging out with the wrong kids, and I said that being that he's in the running for valedictorian, that he should probably stay away from them.
You told him it was important not to cut corners.
Yes, I believe that's very important for every student in my school to not cut corners.
You were shocked at his response.
Yes, I was very shocked how rude he was to me, being that he is one of the star students in our school.
You told Taylor Jennings about the conversation you had with Chris Hall, didn't you?
I told Taylor Jennings that I had a conversation with Chris Hall, and I didn't go into details necessarily.
You think it's okay to tell other students about conversations you have with their peers?
I told Taylor Jennings that I had talked to Chris Hall about the valedictorian race, which he is in.
But it was a conversation you had with someone that wasn't Taylor Jennings.
Yes.
And as a principal, you think it's okay to talk about other students to another one?
If there's not doing any harm to them, yes, I could.
Did you talk about Taylor Jennings in that conversation?
Did I talk to? Can you restate your question, please?
Did you talk about Taylor Jennings in the conversation you had with Chris Hall?
I do not recall.
Okay. So Taylor came to you after third block on February 28, 2011?
Yes.
He reported of a possibility of illegal drugs in Chris Hall's backpack?
He reported that he may have seen a suspicious substance.
So that's a yes?
Yes.
You told him to go to class after he reported to you?
I told him I would take care of him, that he could go to class, yes.
And not to say anything to anyone else?
Yes.
You then called the school resource officer?
Yes.
It took him a while to get there.
A normal amount of time, I would say.
And when he got there, Officer Down took over the investigation?
For the most part, yes.
After finding meth in Chris Hall's bag, you knew that Taylor would be valedictorian.
It was to say that Chris Hall would be eliminated from the competition due to the fact that he had methamphetamine on him, yes.
So you knew that Taylor Jennings would be valedictorian?
If they found drugs in Chris Hall's backpack,
Which
yes.
they did.
So, yes.
So you knew?
I knew that Taylor Jennings would now be valedictorian because they found drugs in Chris Hall's backpack.
You've known Taylor Jennings since before he was in school?
Yes.
You know his family?
Yes, I've known his family, as I said, for 25 plus years.
You in a sense adopted Taylor Jennings as your own, didn't you?
Being that my own sons and daughters have left to college, I have oftentimes had Taylor mow my lawn, for example.
Taylor Jennings is your special friend.
Yes, you could say that he would be one of my special friends.
And you're happy to hear that Taylor Jennings was in the lead for valedictorian.
Yes, I'm proud to say that being that he's one of the star students as well as Chris Hall in our school, that he was in the lead.
But it especially made you happy because he's your special friend?
No, because I am the principal of Truman High School. My job as principal comes first, and family and friends come second when it comes to my job.
You've never known Taylor Jennings to do a dishonest thing, have you?
Not that I'm aware of.
But Taylor Jennings wrote bad checks?
I'm not aware of this.
But you know Taylor Jennings well?
I know Taylor Jennings and his family, yes. I do not know everything about Taylor Jennings and his family.
You told Taylor Jennings Chris Hall was slightly ahead of him, didn't you?
Yes,
Taylor seemed disappointed at that.
As any student would be.
And afterwards he said, "We'll see."
Yes.
No further questions.
Hearsay.
Your Honor, may I respond?
Yes.
The witness was already done with his answer, and she objected after he was already finished with the answer.
If it's still struck.
Struck, like, from the record?
Yes. For the jury to consider it. What's your grounds for your objection?
At this point in time, she's referring to a conversation that both participants aren't in here. She's referring to a statement that was not made by the witness at the scene. And I don't believe that this is an excited utterance. I don't believe that this is telling at all of his disposition. It's simply not important enough for him to go ahead and allow it in today's case.
May I also respond? It's also not going to prove the truth of the matter. We're just laying the ground to see a conversation that Mr. Norris had with Taylor Jennings.
Taylor Jennings, who's a witness in the case. He
Yes.
needs to be here.
He's here.
And you're offering it for,
We're not offering it for the proof of, not for the truth of the matter.
what are you offering?
Just to lay the foundation that he had a conversation with Taylor Jennings about that Taylor Jennings was behind in the race for valedictorian.
Your Honor, if I may, she actually directly asked that question to him in several different ways. So I believe that was already laid. That foundation was already laid. We don't really need to have this hearsay admitted to prove that there was a conversation.
I sustain the objection.
Thank you.
No further questions.
Your Honor.
Redirect?